Most women spend months, sometimes years, wondering if a man is truly interested when his body has been answering that question the entire time. Touch is the language he uses when words feel too risky. It's the signal he sends before he's brave enough to say what he actually wants. And if you've ever felt confused about where you stand with a man, if you've replayed a moment over and over, asking yourself, did that mean something, or am I reading too much into it? Then you need to watch this to the very end. Because by the end of this video, you will never have to guess again. You'll understand exactly what his touch is telling you, why men communicate this way, and most importantly, what it means for what you should do next. Let's start with the honest truth that most people never want to admit. You've been in that situation. Maybe you're in it right now. There's a man in your life, a friend, a colleague, someone you've been casually seeing, and there's this electricity between you that you can't quite name. He looks at you a certain way. He finds reasons to be near you. And sometimes in the middle of an ordinary conversation, he touches you. Just briefly, just enough to make your breath catch. And then you spend the next 3 days dissecting it. You've been trying so hard to read the signals correctly. You don't want to misread things and embarrass yourself. You don't want to assume he's interested and then discover he treats every woman that way. So you play it safe. You stay in the uncertainty. You wait for some magical moment where he makes things crystal clear. But here's what most women don't realize. That moment of crystal clarity rarely comes the way you imagine it. Men don't often walk up and deliver a speech. They don't sit you down and say, I'd like to formally declare my romantic intentions. They test the waters. They reach out, literally, to see how you respond. And if you don't know what you're looking for, those signals fly right past you. The result? You miss the connection. He pulls back thinking you're not interested, and you're left wondering what happened. This ends today. Here are 7 places a man touches you that reveal he wants far more than friendship. Pay attention, because some of these will surprise you. The small of your back is one of the most intimate zones on the human body. Not because it's overtly sensual, but because of what it represents. When a man places his hand at the small of your back, he is claiming proximity. He is saying, without a single word, you are with me. This is not a handshake. This is not a pat on the shoulder between teammates. This is a deliberate, instinctive reach for a part of you that is soft and vulnerable and close. Think about where the small of your back is. It's behind you. It's a place you can't easily see. When someone touches you there, you have to trust them enough to let them into your space. And he knows that. You've probably experienced this. Maybe he did it while guiding you through a crowded restaurant. Maybe it happened when you were navigating a busy street and he instinctively reached out. It felt natural in the moment. It felt protective. And you're right, it was. But protection is not just friendship. Protection is a man signaling that he cares what happens to you. The real life version of this looks like this. You're at a gathering with friends. He's talking to someone across the room. But when you walk past him, he reaches out and touches the small of your back for just a second as you pass. He doesn't even pause his conversation. It's effortless. It's automatic. That automaticness is the whole point. Automatic touch comes from desire, not politeness. When a man touches the small of your back without thinking about it, his body has already made a decision his mouth hasn't caught up to yet. But here's where it gets interesting. There is a specific kind of touch that tells you everything about where a man's attention is, and most women walk past it completely. It's the forearm grab. Not a full handhold, not a formal handshake, just his hand wrapping briefly around your forearm, usually when you're about to walk away or when he wants to make sure you heard what he just said. This touch is about connection, not comfort. Think about what the forearm grab does physically. It stops you. It redirects your attention back to him. It says, wait, stay. I'm not done with you. That is not how you touch someone you are casually friendly with. You don't grab a colleague's forearm because you want to show them a funny email. But you absolutely grab it when you are desperately trying to keep a conversation alive with someone you are drawn to. Imagine this. You've been talking for an hour. You say something like, okay, I should probably get going. And instead of saying, yeah, it was nice seeing you, he reaches out and lightly grabs your forearm. Wait, before you go, you have to hear this. He then tells you something completely unnecessary. The story doesn't matter. The point is he found a reason to hold you there. That forearm grab was the reason. He doesn't want you to leave. And that impulse to keep you close, to reach out before you disappear, is not the impulse of a man who sees you as just a friend. The forearm grab is a man buying himself 30 more seconds with you. Never underestimate what a man is willing to do for 30 more seconds with someone he wants. Now this next one, this is the one that changes everything. If a man touches your hair or your face, stop what you're doing and pay full attention, because you are no longer in ambiguous territory. This is not a friendly gesture. This is one of the most intimate forms of touch that exists between two people who are not yet together. Your face is your identity. Your hair is personal. Neither of these is neutral territory. We do not reach out and touch a colleague's cheek. We do not brush a friend's hair out of their eyes. Not with that kind of gentleness. Not with that kind of intention. When a man does this, something has shifted in him. He has moved past the rational, polite zone and into something instinctive. This is the strongest signal on this list. And I put it at number 3 because I want it to land in the middle of everything else. I want you to understand that everything before this was build-up and everything after this is confirmation. Picture this. You're sitting close together, maybe watching something, maybe talking quietly. Your hair falls across your face. He doesn't wait. He doesn't ask. He just reaches over and gently moves it away. Maybe his fingers linger for half a second longer than necessary. And then he continues talking like it was nothing. Like touching your face is the most natural thing in the world. To him, in that moment, it was. That's what desire does. It makes reaching for someone feel like breathing. Think about that for a second. The vulnerability it takes to reach out and touch someone's face, knowing they will feel every bit of intention in that gesture, is not something a man does casually. He did it because he couldn't help it. When a man touches your face or hair, his attraction is no longer a question. The only question left is what you're going to do about it. And if you think that was powerful, wait for this. The knee touch is subtle. That's exactly what makes it so significant. In conversation, especially when you're seated, the knee is a natural stopping point. Your legs are there, his are nearby. But there is a world of difference between accidentally bumping knees and a man resting his hand on your knee, even for a moment while you're talking. The reason this touch is so telling is because of what it requires. Stillness. He has to leave his hand there, even briefly. It's not a passing gesture, it's a landing. And when a man lands his touch on your knee, he is testing whether you'll pull away, whether you'll tense up, whether you'll lean into it. He is reading your response as carefully as you are reading his intention. This is the touch of a man who is paying attention to you on multiple levels at once. He's listening to your words, he's watching your eyes, and he's measuring your reaction to his hand on your knee. That level of attentiveness is not friendship. That is a man deeply in the experience of being near you. Here's the scenario. You're having dinner. He's telling you something funny, laughing, and in the middle of the laugh, his hand finds your knee, and he gives it one brief, warm squeeze. Then he moves his hand away. Casual, easy, but you felt it in your whole body, didn't you? That's because your body understood exactly what that meant, even if your mind was still catching up. The knee touch is quiet, but it says the loudest thing. I want to be closer to you, and I'm brave enough to reach. Let's talk about the hug. Specifically, the hug that goes on a beat too long. Everyone hugs. Friends hug, family hugs, acquaintances hug. A hug by itself tells you very little, but the length and the quality of a hug tells you everything. There is a standard socially acceptable hug. It lasts about 2 seconds. You both pull back at the same time. It's warm, it's pleasant, and it means nothing romantic. And then there is the other kind. The hug where he doesn't rush to let go, where you feel his arms stay firm around you instead of loosening, where his face might be close to your neck, or where he takes a single deep breath before stepping back. That hug is different. That hug is saying something. A man who lingers in a hug is a man who doesn't want to return to the distance between you. He is in no rush to go back to the world where you're not this close. The lingering is not accidental. He is aware of every second he is choosing to stay there. You know this feeling. You've hugged him hello a dozen times and it was fine, normal. But then one evening, maybe something shifted between you, maybe the conversation had gone deeper than usual, and when you hugged goodbye, he held on just a little longer. And you both pulled back at the same moment and looked at each other for just a fraction of a second too long. That moment is the beginning of something. Don't let it pass without noticing it. A man who doesn't want to let go of the hug is a man who is quietly terrified of the distance that comes after it. Now, this one might surprise you because it looks casual. It looks like nothing. The shoulder pull, the side hug where he brings you into his body and holds you there for a moment. From the outside, it looks friendly. But there is one key detail that separates friendly from something more. Does he keep you there? A buddy puts his arm around you for a second and lets go. Easy, breezy. A man who wants more pulls you in and holds you close, shoulder to shoulder, his arm warm around you. He might not even be looking at you. He might be looking ahead, talking to someone else. But his arm is keeping you right there beside him. He is keeping you in his orbit physically because that's where he wants you to be. This gesture is also about ownership, not in a possessive or controlling way, but in the way that says, this person matters to me, and I want everyone in this room to see that she is with me. It's territorial in the most tender sense. He is making a quiet public statement without saying a word. You've seen this happen, maybe at a party, maybe with a group of friends. He walks over, doesn't say much, just slides his arm around your shoulder and keeps it there while the group talks. You're suddenly aware of his warmth. You're suddenly aware that no one else in the group is being held that way. The shoulder pull is a man quietly drawing a circle around the two of you. Pay attention to who he holds close when he has no reason to. And then there is this, the most underestimated touch of all. Not his hand on your hand, his hand on his own chest, on his heart, while he's talking to you. This is a gesture of vulnerability and truth. When a man reaches up and places his hand on his own chest in a conversation with you, especially when he's sharing something that matters to him or when he's reacting emotionally to something you said, that gesture means he is open. He is letting you in. And men in general do not let just anyone in. People touch their own hearts instinctively when they feel deeply. It's a self-soothing gesture, yes, but it's also a signal of sincerity. When he does this while talking to you, or when he does it while you're talking and he's simply listening, moved by what you're saying, he is telling you that you affect him, that what you say reaches him somewhere real. Think about when this happens. You're having one of those rare, honest conversations that goes somewhere unexpected. You say something real about yourself, maybe about your past, maybe about what you want from life, and you notice his hand go to his chest, almost unconsciously. He nods slowly. His eyes don't leave yours. That is not friendly. That is a man being moved by you. And a man who is moved by you is a man who has already let you past the outer walls. Watch for where his hands go when you move him. His heart will point to exactly where you stand. So there you have it. 7 places he touches you that reveal he wants far more than friendship. The small of your back, the forearm grab, the face and hair touch, the knee, the lingering hug, the shoulder pull, and the hand on the heart. But here's what I really want you to hear before you go. Knowing these signals is only half the work. The other half is what you do with what you know. So many women see these signals clearly. They feel them in their body before their mind even processes them. And then they do nothing. They wait. They shrink back into uncertainty. They tell themselves, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I shouldn't say anything. Maybe if I just wait long enough, he'll make it completely obvious. But waiting has a cost. And the cost is this. While you're waiting for him to be certain, he's reading your passivity as disinterest. He reaches out, you don't respond with any warmth, and slowly he starts to believe that maybe you don't feel the same. He stops reaching, he pulls back, and you watch the connection fade while you're still hoping it will suddenly become obvious. The woman who understands her own worth does not sit on the sidelines of her own love story. She doesn't need every signal to be a 10-foot billboard. She sees what's true, she trusts herself, and she moves toward it with confidence, not desperation, not neediness, but quiet, grounded, feminine confidence. That is who you can be. That is who you already are if you decide to be. You don't have to throw yourself at anyone. You don't have to make grand declarations. All you have to do is meet his signals with your own warmth. Respond to his touch with a smile that lets him know you felt it. Let him see that being close to you is a good place to be. Let your body and your energy say, yes, I see you, and I like what I see. That's enough. That's more than enough. That's everything. You have spent so much time worrying about misreading the signs that you've been unable to enjoy the connection that's actually right in front of you. That ends now. You are not someone who waits on the sidelines for love to accidentally find her. You are someone who shows up, who pays attention, who trusts her instincts, and who is brave enough to lean into what feels real. The clarity you've been looking for has always been there. It was in his hands. It was in the way he moved toward you. It was in the warmth of a touch that lasted just a moment too long. You see it now. You know what it means. And you know what to do. This is your moment. Don't waste it. If this spoke to you, if something in this video made you see a situation in your life differently, subscribe to this channel and watch our next video on the words men use when they are falling in love but aren't ready to admit it yet. Because the signals don't stop at touch, and you deserve to understand all of them.